Hey, shalom, shalom, Israel. I want to start by giving all glory and praises to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushua, by Hashem, HaKadosh. And about that one for down to be Florida from the camp of JMS Tampa. All right, come on, another Lord with an edifying lesson to feed the sheep. The Barnes said I was an apostle, great millstone, who teaching well. Peace and blessings to the brothers who pushing this work into sincerity to the scattered abroad. All right. And I just want to do a little quick lesson, all right, going into, this post that I seen where it says Sweden implants microchips in thousands of people to replace IDs, credit cards, keys, and wallets. Okay, now I'll read it again. It says Sweden implants microchips in thousands of people to replace IDs, credit cards, keys, and wallets. Okay, which shows you we in the times, all right, of this devil moving forward, okay, with that digital system that he's been, all right, bringing out, man, okay, through gradualism, okay, which we know is leading to the M to the O to the T to the B, all right, that mark of the beast, man, okay, which is that chip, as you can see it in this picture, man, all right, we know that these devils are moving, okay, in a strategized way, all right, when it comes to, all right, bringing this, all right, system about, man. All right, they have to do it in the most craftiest way, of course. All right, and we're seeing it, man. Okay, as the scripture says, for we're not ignorant of Satan's, schemes. Okay, we're not ignorant of this thing that this devil is moving forward with. So it just shows you that we're in those times. Okay, though the scripture says, in Habakkuk 2 and 3. All right, which matter of fact we'll grab. All right. But just going into, we in the times of seeing this thing, okay, all right, pop off right before our eyes, man. All right, we just waiting for this devil to go ahead and make this thing known, okay, where he's going to make it mandatory, okay? So, hey, it's only a countdown from here, okay? But, reading it again, it says Sweden implants microchips in thousands of people to replace IDs, credit cards, and keys and wallets. And I have this video pulled up, okay, which is right here, all right, that was made in 2019, all right, around October 13th, that you see. It just showed you that these devils already been in the works of making this thing something convenient to the eyes of the people, okay, because that's what it's really all about. Okay, they want to bring this thing out. They want everybody to look at it as it's being convenient to you. All right, it makes everything a lot easier. All right, it makes things a lot more smoother. When really it's just you getting set up for destruction, man. Okay, if you take this RFID hip, man, you done for. Okay, which we're gonna grab that too as well. We're gonna grab the scriptures, but I'm gonna grab this video first and foremost, and all right, for edification's sake, Lord, when you're edified, okay. But it says ID, wallet, keys, all in your hand. And that's the convenience that they want to bring. They want to make these things convenient for you where you ain't got to do much. It's that, a hand's touch, right? It says Sweden moves into the future with microchipping. And this is what we've been saying through the Spirit Power by Shemel Shai, started with Ellis and Apostle Great Mills on it down, that this is what Esau's coming with, okay? Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. Okay, this is what's pertaining to. This devil's want to come down having great wrath, okay, with pushing through gradualism this digital society, making everything work in the form of that's gonna benefit off him, bringing in that hip, man. Okay, this is what he's doing. All right, but this is what you see is happening over there in Sweden. So we're gonna play this video. And then we're going to grab another one, and then we're going to grab the scripts, all right? So let's go ahead and put this video.
When Elias Brotberger goes to work, he doesn't need ID. And he doesn't need money. In fact, much of what he needs to get through the day is hidden right there, just below the surface, in his hand.
You like to touch it?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, weird. Yeah, it's like a grain of rice.
Yeah, a grain of rice.
Embedded in his hand is a microchip that serves as his keys, his ID, and his wallet.
Yeah, it's all in chip, so I use it to get around the building.
Buy snacks.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's buy some snacks.
Exactly.
So I can't open it.
No.
Okay.
So what I need to do is I need to first blip my chip, and it will log me in, and from there I get access to the fridge.
Popular TV shows like Black Mirror have imagined chips as part of a dystopian future.
Install ingrain procedure with local anesthetic and you're good to go.
It's a lot I just want to add in there too. That's why they got this guy, they got this puppet, this guy set up, Elon Musk, man. All right, with this Neuralink. Okay, when he, few years back when he had he was doing his test trials, man. Okay, human test trials, and he was putting that that Neuralink within people, man. Really, this all just ties into what they ultimately trying to do, man. Okay, when they trying to bring out this C-hip and have it where everybody will be in agreement, so to speak. But that's not how it's gonna work, man. Okay. You're gonna have it where there's gonna be those that's not gonna take it, that they're gonna seek the kill and pretty much execute. Okay, starting with us brothers that's fighting the truth and sincerity, standing on these corners and prophesying against this wicked kingdom, man. All right, letting you know this is what this devil's coming with. You see, going into that Revelations 13, at the 13th chapter. All right, so this is what he's doing. All right, you got Neuralink as a foreshadow of ultimately what they want to do when it comes to, Scripture says, their forehead or in their right hand. You see. So again, this is what they're putting into motion. Okay, and this was years ago. Okay, now today it's just showing you that they have more people signing up and taking it, man, which shows you that they're about to make this thing go worldwide. It says, let me continue playing it.
Sweden, the microchips are already here.
The microchip implants use the same technology that's in contactless credit cards.
Which have made cash pretty much obsolete in Sweden.
No cash.
At this tech fair, a chipping event for those on the cutting edge, merging their hands with this new technology.
I thought it would be fun, right?
The process is simple and swift. A pinch of the skin, and in a matter of seconds, the chip is inserted. The transformation is complete. As for the pain,
I barely felt it.
But even in this nation of early adopters, not everyone is racing to get chipped.
Feel less human. I will feel like a robot.
I think, it's so much more data can go into this, when it's in your body.
There's no central registry tracking how many people are chipped, but biohacker Hannes Wellblood estimates between 5 and 10,000.
In the future, do you think everyone is going to be chipped?
I think it'll be voluntary, but I am certainly convinced that millions of people will find it very, very valuable to have a smart device under their skin.
Human micro.
But I am certainly convinced.
But biohacker Hannes Wellblood estimates between 5 and 10,000.
In the future, do you think everyone is going to be chipped?
I think it'll be voluntary, but I am certainly convinced that millions of people will find it very, very valuable to have a smart device under their skin.
Right, because Esau's going to make a thing where you're not going to be able to operate within the system that he's setting up. That's why he's setting everything up to a digital a way of, when you pay. That's what those credit cards, okay, tap pay. He's making everything convenient enough to where, okay, we're going to get rid of these, we're going to get rid of the cash. All right, but this is why they already been putting these things into works, man. Okay, cashless. All right, coming into a cashless society. No one's just using no cash no more because Esau wants full control, okay, of everything. All right, he wants you to be operating, okay, with depending on him wholeheartedly with, you depending on that society of that digital payments, okay. He want to make it where nobody is no more relying on cash no more, man. That's why this thing is leading to it crashing now. You see, this is just the operation that this devil was putting in forth to bring in this C-hip. You see? So that was it on that. Let me see. It was here it is right here. And it says about 3,000 Swedens have implanted microchips in their bodies. The tech offers conveniency, but raises health and data security concerns, right? Because it's going to come with those grievous sores, as the scriptures goes into, man. All right? These people going to be all kinds of sorts of jacked up, okay? Because your body going to be in rejection. It's going to be rejecting it. But, hey, people going to be out here on a whole nother level of great distress. Okay, they're going to be sick in the most worst way. Okay? That's why, hey, the scriptures tell you, do not take that, man. All right? So we're going to go ahead and grab these scriptures. All right? And Lord willing, this is edifying. Okay? And makes sense through the Spirit. But this is Revelation chapter 13, verse 15. And it reads, it says, and he had power to give life into the image of the beast. Okay? I'm going into that That MWO, man. It says that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And that's ultimately what this devil is going to be, setting his, system around. You see, that's why you got this guy Trump, all right, bringing back the execution squad, all right, the fire squad and these form of executions back, bringing it back because what? They're already getting this thing set up for those who are going to rebel. You see, they're already setting it up to where whoever is going to not get with this system that they want to bring, okay, it's a part of that NWO. All right, they're going to do what? Seek to eliminate, okay, and they're going to take out who they feel that is a great danger, okay, to their system that they're trying to usher in, okay. That's why scriptures also speak about what? So we're going, brothers going, and these times going, there's going to be persecution that we're going to have to face, man. You see, and it's going to continue to go on, man. And these times, knowing that Esau's try to bring forth this digital society leading to that RFID C-hip, man. This is his main goal. This is what he want to close it out with. But the Lord's not going to let him fulfill that. Okay, he's not going to get that last dessert cherry on the top. Okay, though he's going to shoot for it, though he's going to desire it. Okay. But the Lord ain't gonna let him get. He's not gonna let him get to it, man. His days are determined. Okay, it says verse 16, and he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, right? Because this devil's gonna seek to tag everyone. Okay, he's gonna seek to tag you, and using by he's eliminating certain access to society. All right, he's gonna break it down to where when no one's gonna be able to operate without having this thing, man. All right, like it's gonna go into verse 17. But hey, whether you rich, poor, okay, bond, it don't matter. He's gonna look. He coming for everybody, man. And it's gonna go by the way of how he's gonna shut this thing down. Verse 17, it says. And that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Right. Okay. So you're not going to be able to buy, sell, do anything or participate within society. Okay. Without having that charagma, man, without being tagged. All right. And that's how he's going to set it up. That's how he's going to have these millions of people. What's the word I'm looking for? They're gonna pretty much be drawn to that RFID C-hub, because what? He's gonna restrict things from millions of people, just like you see with the C19. All right, if you didn't have that Jabberwocky, guess what happened? You wasn't able to have access to certain buildings. You wasn't able to get on certain flights. Okay, you weren't able to do a lot of things. And if you did, you had to have a lot of restriction. You had certain security people who were saying, hey, if you don't have the mask, if you don't have this, you don't have that, you can enter the facility. You see? So that being, a foreshadow to what this devil really want to do when it comes to this MOT to the B, man. Okay, this mark of the beast. All right, this devil's ushering in slowly but surely, man. All right, and we know it, we seeing it. All right. This thing is clear as day. You got people who just plain up acting like they don't get it. They don't want to get it, or they don't want to acknowledge that this is the chip. Well, guess what? In that day, they're gonna see it then, because it's gonna be a reality to everyone. All right. Reading that again, it says, verse 17, in that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So you're not going to be able to buy, sell, nothing. Okay? You're going to be able to operate in this digital society that Esau's coming with without having that charagma, man. Okay? This is what he wants. Okay? He wants full control. This devil has a God complex mindset. All right, he wants you to be completely under his control. All right, and ultimately do that, he has to tag you. All right, like cattle. Verse 18 says, "Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 603 and 6." So going into the what? This devil want to tag you. All right. That's why you got this UPC, all right, universal particle code. All right. And you see everything that's, being bought, it has a barcode on it. What you think this devil wants to do when it comes to putting that RFID up in you, man? That's going to be the same way of how it's going to function. Just like when you go purchase something that has that barcode, that's what the devil want to do to you, man. Make you a part of this system. Purchase you, stamp you, showing you or you belong to him, man. You see? And that's why we're coming to the times where, hey, you either going to be, for Yahweh Shemal Shah, or you going to be for this system, man. For Esau Edom. All right? And the times we're coming into is going to determine, all right, who you serve. You see? That's the time we're entering in, man. And we're seeing that more and more, where millions of people are crashing out. All right? If you don't got Yahweh Shemal Shah, you through. If you don't got this truth, you're through. You don't got this wisdom, understanding, knowledge, and truth, sincerity with those true names, you're through, man. All right? This is what you're going to need to ultimately Abaratazah, okay, receive salvation, man. And I say Abaratazah humbly speaking, because we all desire, all right, on the Lord's mercy, okay, to be delivered out of this hellhole that's going to come, man, because it's going to get bad. It's going to get worse, okay? And we're going to need the Lord, all right? But to start off with you seeking and knowing that you, okay, what's the word I'm looking for? Have Yahweh Shemal Shah into the sincerity, man, okay? You don't want to be out there calling on JC and Buddha and Allah and all these, false idols and getting your ass torched, man. Catching judgment left and right. You want to have Yahweh Shemal Shah in these days, okay? Because what's going to come? If you take that C hip, all right, that RFI C hip, Slakia. What the hell's that? Yep. But if you take this RFID C up, man, you're through. You see? Which is going to go into Revelation chapter 14. Slakia. I just seen people walking, man. You got to be circumspect. So, yeah, back to it, man. Revelation chapter 14, verse 9. It says, in the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh Shemal Shai, which is poured out without mixture. 100% of that wrath is going to come upon those who take that RFID C up, man. You take that M to the O to the B, you're through. Okay? There's no going back from that. That's why you're going to have those that's going to have those grievous sores and pain and agony and torture. Okay? until those nukes drop, man. Because that's what it's going into. It says, I'll read it again, verse 10. The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh Shem Shai, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, right? His righteous anger. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone. Those nukes, man. Okay, when they hit the swords of America, there's gonna be millions of people who's gonna taste, all right, those that destruction, that judgment, man. That plague is gonna come upon this place, man. All right, and if you're listening, okay, for those seeking the Lord in these times, man, this is the this is the route you want to be on, okay, serving Yahweh Shem Shai, cleaving unto him, seeking him, all right, to being out. This is the route you want to be on, all right. That's not towards that judgment is to come, man. All right, this is where it's at. This is where you start. You see, it's right here at taking heed to knowing what's going to happen, man, because you got millions of people who ain't listening, who ain't seeking, who ain't doing none of these things, and that when these devils come down with it, that they're going to get caught up in all the shenanigans and all the so-called conveniency and the glamours of the miracles, man. You see, this they're going to get caught up into, and that's going to lead them to this judgment that's going to come, man. It says, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb, right? Which is Yahweh Shai, man, and angels, man. Okay? So you're going to have it where these people are going to, they're going to taste it for choosing who they truly serve in that day, man. All right? That's why the scriptures go into Revelations 3 and 10, the hour of temptation. Okay, there's going to be an hour of temptation where, hey, the whole world's going to be tried, man. You see? And you're going to want to be in good standards with Yahweh Shem Shai in that day. As brother going to, you got a credit score on this side. You want your credit score to be good with Yahweh Shem Shai. And that starts with you, seeking him and serving him and calling upon him. Okay, and doing what you can to the best of your ability. Okay, to holding on to him, man. All right, because when these things come, it's going to be a great time of trying, okay, testing. All right, and you want to be spiritually girded up and spiritually prepared for what's to come. All right, and not ignorant to things that's coming. All right, by foolishly just putting off from day to day. As the scripture goes into, it says, I can grab it. Matter of fact, let me see. It says not to put off from day to day, all right, because we know that Yahweh Shem Shai gonna come down having great wrath. All right, this is Ecclesiastes known as Sirach chapter 5 verse 7. It says, "Make no turn to the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai, and put not off from day to day, for suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai come forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance." Right? So you don't want to be caught up in that. All right? Putting off from day to day, and then suddenly that wrath comes. Ultimately, that's what's going to happen to these people who have took the time of this liberty and this time of this door of this grace that's been opened. Okay, and play with that time. They're going to catch, okay, what they've been looking for, which is ultimately judgment, man. Okay, destruction. All right, and you don't want to be in that spot when it happens, man, because it's going to be horrific. It's going to be terrifying. Okay, it's going to be horrifying. All right, all the things, the worst things you can think about. All right, because the Lord's not going to be playing. Okay, Yahweh Shem Shai is not going to be playing, man. All right, and these people can think it's a fairy tale. They can think this is a game. They can think whatever you want to think. But, hey, the scripture says, though it tarry, wait for it. Okay, matter of fact, let's grab that. In Habakkuk. Okay, because these people, they ain't gonna get it until they see it, man, and see that they gotta see it to believe it. All right, that's why it says, the scripture says, they shall know it after death by pain. But this is Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 3, getting straight to the point. It says, "For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end the same shall speak." So like it says, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it. That's why we waiting patiently. Okay, we waiting patiently. okay, on these things to happen because we know it's going to take place. We know it's true. It says, Scripture says these things are faithful and true. All right. The prophecies, the things that are going to take place, is going to happen. It's all been written. All right. These words that was, all this is going to take place, man. Okay. It was written. It's going to follow through. All right. Scripture also says, these words, not going to return void to Yahweh by Shem Yahushua. They're going to accomplish, what they've been sent to do, roughly paraphrasing. Okay. So again, this is why we patiently waiting. All right. While others are taking this time, for granted, not listening. You see, we know that the Lord's going to do this, man. All right. This is why you have to move with that fear. All right. Be in great, and feeling that great terror that's going to come upon this place, because what? The Lord is going to come with that wrath. Okay, how about Shemel Shai? It says, because it will surely come, it will not tarry, meaning to delay. All right, and that's what we're telling these people, and that's what we're telling these folks. All right, every time we go out to camp, all right, when we doing these lessons, we learn, these things are going to happen, man, whether you believe or not. Let the scripture says, 2 Ezra chapter 15, let not the incredulity of which is their unbelief, all right, trouble us or throw us off our game. All right, roughly paraphrasing, because we know that how by Shemel Shai, we know that the Lord is not playing, man. If these people are not fearing, okay, cool. So what? Because we fear, man. All right. Matter of fact, let me see if I can grab that right quick, because I don't want to butcher the scripture. 2 Ezra chapter 15. Yeah, verse 3. It says, 2 Ezra chapter 15, verse 3 says, fear not the imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. Because these people are going to be saying whatever. They're going to be saying what the hell they want to say, man. But what does the scripture say? That's what matters. What does the scripture say? What does Yahweh Shem Yahushua have written within these scriptures? That's why the scriptures tell you in the first verse, behold, speak thou in the ears of my people, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American, the words of prophecy. And we letting you know, we telling you that this is what's coming to this place. Great judgment for those who might be in that docile might, that the mindset or simple, don't want to get a mindset. All right, that you still go and trust in this devil and get that C-hip and find yourself in a worse case than you was before. That's what we telling you. This is coming, man. So be aware. All right. It says, which I will put in thy mouth, which is not of us, man. It's all through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shai, saith the Lord Yahweh Shai, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. Okay. So it's all coming off the scriptures, man. We telling you from what's in the scriptures that this is coming, and we seeing it. Right? When you got this guy, matter of fact, let me see if I can grab it. Going into it.
I need to build a camp. Darn, not enough wood. Let me go get some more. No, stop.
Get it poked right in the hand. Well, a few years ago here on Redact,
you have this guy right here. Okay. Let me see. I'm gonna just play it like this and play a little bit and low when you edified.
We covered Sweden's bizarre microchip implanting story and their plan, which would have everyday citizens opting to have microchips implanted right into their bodies, right into their hands, the RFID or near field communications chips, or NFC, basically the size of a grain of rice. And thousands of Swedes took the plunge. And since this story first published, many more thousands have taken the plunge. The idea is that the chips would speed up your user's daily life, make their lives more convenient, access their homes, office, gyms, just swipe it right on your door or keypad and you're right in there. Here is one of the individuals lining up to get one of the chip implants and just being able to get it poked right in the hands. Now, when the program started, the demand was off the charts. There were waiting lists. Companies could insert these things. They couldn't insert these things fast enough. And then shortly after it won high praise from the World Economic Forum.
Well, And that's the spirit, because it said it won high praise from the WHO. It's like, if I think the World Economic Forum. Let me see if I'm running that back.
Companies could insert these things. They couldn't insert these things fast enough. And then shortly after it, it won high praise from the World Economic Forum.
Right. So the World Economic Forum, okay, which is and another term too. They in cahoots. They all in one big old system gathering with the was WHO, which is the World Health Organization. So they all in shit together, man. Okay, but you had the the World Economic Forum, the WEF. Okay, which you had that guy Klaus Schwab. He had that saying back then. Okay, that you will not be able to participate within society without having this certain technology. And now you're seeing what they was expounding on and talking about, man. No wonder why these devils have the Agenda 25, Agenda 26, Agenda 2030. Okay, so this is what they want to do. Okay, it's not a hard thing to it's not a hard thing to see, man. These people are doing it right before your eyes. All right, and that's what the scripture says. And that was pretty much the point on that. That's what the scripture says. This right here. It's like, if I'm everywhere, man. It just, spirit just, got me grabbing it, man. 2 Corinthians 2:11 says, "Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we're not ignorant of his devices." Right. So you can't be ignorant to these things, man. That's why seeing that through the spirit and power by Shemel Shah, for we're not ignorant of Satan's devices, man. Lord gave us already the spirit to decipher these things through the spirit. Starting when I was an apostle, great most on down, man. You see, knowing that this devil is moving quickly. He's moving quickly. Okay. But we see it. We're not ignorant to it. You got millions of people who are ignorant to seeing these things. They click, they see it, and they go on about their day. Or they go over there and they getting their ass chipped up, man. Because ultimately this devil wants to make it mandatory, all right? But he's going to do it through a way of deception, okay? He's gonna restrict things. He's gonna take away things. He might lock down things. It's gonna make the people to gravitate towards where they're gonna feel like they're gonna have no choice but to go and get that C-hip, man. And that's gonna be that testing that's gonna try a lot of people, man. Okay, on top of what, all hell breaking loose and etc. You see. So hey, man, you know what I'm saying. That was pretty much the point. Once again, Lord, when this lesson was edifying to you, I came out to seeking the Lord, the truth and sincerity in these times. All right. Again, double honor said I was an apostle, great millstone, who teach you well, and close it out by giving all glory and praises to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushua, by Hashem, Chakadash. Until next time, I say, Shalom.